everyone, welcome. Got another Transformers toy review here for you. Today we're taking a look at Transformers Earthrise, War for Cybertron, Starscream. At the same time, we're going to be doing a bit of a comparison on the, not the Earthrise, this is the War for Cybertron Siege version as well. I'm sure I've done a review of this guy already, but as part of the review we'll be taking a look at the both side by side, just comparing them as we go through. Anyway, obviously this guy's already opened up, but just to take a look at the Earthrise version here in his packaging. Looks wise, obviously they've gone for his kind of earth form, and from that, you know, he looks a lot more like he did in the cartoon and comics, etc. So a bit more kind of what we're used to in terms of kind of an earth mode, I guess. And looking at it, first off, when I saw all the pictures, I did think that this was kind of just an upscaled version of the Generations version, which was a fair few years ago now. But looking at it just in the box here, I think they've done a little bit more with it than that, and it seems like there's certainly a few more paint apps. But it looks pretty good in the box there. Even look at it from here, the head sculpt looks a little bit better. On the side here, got some artwork. It doesn't look very Starscream from there, actually. All of this looks more orange, so it looks like it could be someone else. And the wings are up like that. I guess it's kind of in line with what we've got here. And then on the back here, you've got some kind of renders of them in both modes. So the Earth kind of jet mode, 30 steps of transformation, and just a few pictures how they kind of interact with the Battle Masters. And again, some artwork on the side there. These ones do come with the map, I think, in the background that you can cut out and kind of join the maps up and whatnot. What we're going to do now is we're going to get this guy opened up and we're going to take a look at him and compare him against the other Starscream. Here we are, we've got Starscream out of the box, and pretty impressed with him so far, actually. What I would say is the joint tolerances on him seem quite stiff, especially on the legs. He's got quite a few paint details. On the front here, this is all red paint, which is done well, and it's quite a glossy coat on it. This midsection here as well is glossy red paint. I would say that it looks like there's a couple of small little chips there, so that is one thing to bear in mind, that you might get a few paint chips. But the red paint is carried through here as well, all through here, and the head itself appears to be painted black with gunmetal paint for the face and then red for the eyes. So if we give you a bit of a close-up there, yes, pretty impressed with the paint detailing on him. He's got red and white paint running up here, which is applied fairly nice, and the Decepticon logo on the side here. And then again, you've got the same kind of paint effects down here for the wings as well, and some blue paint on the legs, and this kind of gunmetal paint which is used just underneath the knee and for the feet. So yeah, very nicely done. In terms of size comparison, I'll bring in a few figures and then go through articulation. So there he is on his own. Bring in Megatron. This is the kind of War for Cybertron Siege version, obviously the one with the cell shading. So I think that's about right, actually, because Megatron's a little bit bigger than him. So Megatron's proportions obviously a little bit bigger, his head and other bits and pieces, but they're not too far off the same size. Pardon me. And if I bring in the other Starscream, again, they are roughly the same height. there isn't a lot in it. Yeah, I think I prefer the proportions on the Earthrise one. The other thing I think I prefer as well is the head sculpt on the Earthrise one as opposed to Siege. I do still like the Siege one. It is pretty cool, and this one obviously has got all the weathering on it. So it depends again if you prefer that or not. And the other thing as well is the null rays. Again, we've kind of got more of an updated kind of Cybertronian kind of null ray, and this one is kind of more used to kind of the classic kind of gun that you're used to seeing as well. And also the inside of this has got lots of bits and pieces on, and the side of this looks a little bit clearer. One thing I would say where it does win over slightly is on the back here. I think that this looks a little bit cleaner. I would have liked to have seen this have like a hinge or something that swivels round so the nose can go up. It just feels a little bit out of the way on the back there, but nothing too bad, I would say. Both of them have got like a point in here for a flight stand. His is right underneath him there as well. Both can attach various blast effects. So obviously you can pop them on the end of either of their guns like that. This Starscream, the Earthrise version, has got a little spot on his arm where you can attach a blast effect as if he's been shot there, which kind of works. I don't know if there's anywhere else that you can attach them. The guns can also come off, and you can hold them in his hands like that, and I think you can hold it underneath there as well. You can pop them on the back like so if you wish. You do kind of see the kind of insides of them there. Oh, there's no paint apps on the null rays either. You can even attach further weapons on the side here, on here, and even ones underneath, and that's where your weaponizers come into play. So yeah, that is it for the figure in robot mode, and in terms of comparison against the Siege version. Now let's go through the articulation. Now the head can move down right the way down, so that's really quite impressive. Up a fair bit as well. You can get a bit of a confused dog look, but their head does go all the way around. It's nice and tight on there, but it does go all the way around. Really impressed with the paint and detailing on there. It's really nice. There is a little gap that goes around on here, but that's how it's supposed to be. But just to make you aware, the arms here, you can kind of move these wings a little bit out of the way if you want to, but it still does hinder the articulation, but the joint does go all the way around. The arm comes out to the side like that. You get a bicep swivel there. The elbow, does it go, is it a double jointed elbow? Not quite. It does go past there, but the hands, do they rotate round? No, don't appear to. They kind of move up and down. That looks as if it's part of the transformation. This bit does come up. I'm not sure if there's any waist articulation in this guy. Doesn't appear to be any waist articulation, so that is something that the other one does have. And even on the arms, not sure if this one's kind of got a bit of a butterfly as well. Yeah, on this one you've got the elbow goes all the way up like that, and the hands also rotate around here as well. Yeah, so you do get a bit more articulation. Obviously you've got the waist articulation on this one, which you don't get in this one, which is interesting. The other thing as well, to lift the legs all the way up, I think you'll need to move this piece out of the way, but they can, well, they roughly go up there, but these legs do feel a little bit stiffer. It's the friction on it, and then they only go back to there because of the what's in the way there. Is there anything at the top there? Yeah, there is a little bit at the top. That does go all the way around, and the legs, they go back to there, so that's not bad. But especially forward and back, it's really quite stiff there. But there's no squeak or anything. Just seems to be a friction. Does that peg into place? And the feet go all the way out to there. Nothing forward. You do get a little kind of bit at the back there as well. Oh, there, the toe does move out actually down. So you can move that out on both ones, but then you kind of move this bit out at the same time. Yeah, so I mean, you can get all the articulation that you need, I think, out of this guy. And he does look pretty clean throughout. There is a little bit of a gap in there. But if you look around the figure, there doesn't appear to be loads of kind of empty bits or anything else like that. Which is kind of the same for this guy really as well. They've got these little filler bits in here. They're both done pretty well, I think. Next up, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at transformation, and we'll take a look at them both in their jet modes. One other quick comparison just before we transform him. Here's the Generations version. Well, this is Nacelle from the Transformers Collectors Club, but that just gives you an idea of scale. So a Voyager figure, and a good sized Voyager at that, alongside a Deluxe, which previously was the Generations version anyway. Right, take a look at the transformation. Now, some of these bits are very similar to the Generations version, and it's it's just been slightly updated. So similar to the other version, you kind of want to push this bit back. So you can either do that by kind of getting your fingernails underneath this bit and taking this bit back. There's a little clip here, so you just kind of want to push that back. Obviously there's paint all over here, so just be careful of any chipping. This bit comes back, the head kind of comes up with this bit like this, and very similar to previous versions, the head kind of goes away into this bit here. That's going to peg down. This bit is going to swivel round and come back and peg into here. So that's the first bit done. Now the arms are going to go into this bit here. The transformation is a little bit different from before. So the fists, you want to put them up like this, and then open this bit up here, and then this bit is going to kind of come through that kind of hole there. So as you kind of collapse in and do the combiner walls thing with the arm, you do that, and then just keep it like that. And so then you can then fold in that arm into there, and then all you do is obviously you do the same thing on the other side like that. You just kind of want to straighten that bit out, and then just make sure you've got that arm out of the way. It's a little bit tricky, but once you've done it a couple of times, you should be fine. This is one of the ones you don't really have to refer. I didn't have to refer back to the instructions or anything, just because it was such a similar transformation. Whereas transforming the Siege version is, I found, a lot trickier in terms of remembering how to do it. Once I've done it now, I can remember, but I nearly had to get the instructions open to take a look at it. And then you want to close this bit back up and just click those bits back into play on either side like that. And you see there's a little bit of paint rubbing just on that corner there, and even this bit's got a little bit on here, and this bit does have to lift up for this next bit a little bit. these wings, you can move them down and do them now. I find it easier just to have them up here for the time being. What happens basically is you're going to move these bits in like that and have them in against each other. This bit's going to lift up like so, and on the same side, that bit, push these legs in towards each other. And that should click into the side like that on here. The knees open up where they're clipped onto here on both sides, and then what they do is you've got the kind of combiner wars function, so you want to bring the knee right up and then just fold it in like so, and as you do, you kind of peg this bit into the back like that. At the same time, this bit wants to close in. So I'll try that again on this side. And it's a little bit trickier because then you do have to peg the two together like that. So bring that down, this bit will come down. Push these in towards each other like that. I find that I've not quite done it properly this time round, but it normally sits a little bit more flush in there. So I'm not sure if there's something I've not quite done properly in there. So bring these bits down on either side. These wings then are going to come round, and you can see there's little notches in here where they're going to peg in. So you just bring those down, sort of lift this one up as you bring the other one in, and they should just peg into those notches on either side. And that should help also hold the body of the transformer together as well on either side. That. And then you have got your jet mode, and it's pretty sleek looking. Yeah, really nice. The cockpit doesn't really open up unless you want to do the transformation. There isn't any landing gear either. I guess these bits are supposed to be it. Do be a bit careful if you're resting it on here. You don't want to kind of rub these bits of paint off or anything else like that. There's lots of different places where you can put your null rays or other weapons. So you've got two pegs here, a couple either side here as well, and underneath here you could even have guns on the back if you wanted to, and one on the top. And it's quite a chunky looking jet mode. And there he is with his null rays. So yeah, pretty impressive. And here he is alongside the Siege version, and as you can see, it's a lot bigger in this mode. So this one really compacts down. You can see the legs kind of squat in, the arms squat in. So it all kind of compacts in. So it makes it a much smaller compact jet mode, whereas this one really does take up a lot more shelf space. Both really good. I think this looks super cool in its jet mode. This one obviously more of a Cybertronian look, so depending on which one you go for. But for me, I do prefer this one. I really like the Earth jet mode. I think they've done, you know, an excellent job on it. I just love the proportions on it. Done really well. Just like the nose cone and everything else like that. It just, yeah, it's excellent. And then you can also add your blast effects in here. So if you want to have him swooping down on Autobot City or Guns A-Blazing, you can do. There you go, like the blast effects. There you go. So you can do that. It's a pretty neat looking jet mode, I have to say. And there he is again, alongside the Earthrise. Sorry, this is the Siege one. This one's the Earthrise version. Yeah, both really good. As I said before, I'm kind of leaning towards the Earthrise version, really. It just edges it slightly, ever so, in both modes, I think. I get this one's got the body, the sort of weathering and stuff like that. I don't think this guy needs it, and yeah, it's got lots of paint apps and things like that. The articulation's really good. The head sculpt is just a little bit more Starscream on this one as opposed to that one, I think. And I'm still going to keep this one, and I'm going to probably have this one on display, the Earthrise one. This one will probably go into storage, but I will keep these Tetrajets on display, just like the the red one and all the different coloured ones, just as a filler in kind of like a Cybertronian battle scene. But yeah, that's it for now, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.